Georgina. So I am here with our very favorite realtor, Ed Ward, and we're going to have a conversation about real estate in the times of COVID-19. I'm sure we all have lots of questions. At the best of times, it's a daunting, confusing, exciting market and experience. And we have Ed here to help us get through kind of what's happening now. So welcome to the show, Ed. Welcome back, I should say.
Appreciate that. Yeah, we've had a little bit of a lull. Everybody's been kind of trying to figure out and get things in place, but it's great to see yourself and everybody again. It looks like we're getting back to a little bit of normalcy. If that's going to happen sooner than later, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we're managing in the way that we can, right? Absolutely.
Yes.
So that kind of brings me to this. So let's talk about real estate, and let's talk about it being, why is it an essential service? How did that kind of happen, and why is that?
Yeah, so back in March 24th, we were sent out an email from the Ontario Real Estate Association, which is one of our governing bodies. And I took a little excerpt from that, and I just wanted to read that quickly so that'll help us understand things. So part of the email was, why was real estate deemed essential? And that was because the Toronto Real Estate Board actually asked for it to be an essential service because and the Land Registry Office, because there are outstanding transactions that were there for thousands of people that needed to be attended to and taken care of. I mean, you sold a house and now you can't go out and buy something. Doesn't make a lot of sense, obviously, right? And so basically they wanted to say here, so what does that mean to us in being an essential service? First of all, it says it does not mean business as usual. All realtors should stop face-to-face business, including open houses and in-person showings, now. The government gave the essential label to real estate to permit transactions to close, not to allow all members to carry on with normal business practices during a crisis. So that's their view on it, and that's our governing body. And so Melanie and I decided that we're going to stop doing our business. Twofold. We're mandated by it, by what the governing body has said, and because we have 3 elderly people in our household, and the last thing we want to do is be out there meeting with new people, contracting this, not knowing you have it for a period of time, bring it back into our household, and 2 of the 3 people are very susceptible to this because they already have health issues. So for us, it was a matter, literally a decision of life and death, because we don't want to take that chance, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that's part of the mentality I think more realtors should be taking. It shouldn't be business as usual. It's very difficult to be out there meeting with people, going into houses, and not knowing who's been there, who's done what. Have they taken the precautions? Have they been doing what they're supposed to do? Not knowing these types of things, it's kind of scary for us, like I said, because we don't want to affect somebody in our household, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the point is across the board is that this has changed everything, right? And you don't know what will be happening. And I would imagine that, have you found that people have just taken their properties off the market? Are they just kind of waiting to see what happens before they list?
We had full conversations with people that we had under contract, and we took everybody's house off the market.
Yeah.
Just there again, not the fact that they were maybe uncomfortable with it and want to go on. It's just supply and demand is a huge thing. And if you don't have the people coming and looking, you're sitting there on the market too long, ultimately, how does that look for people? First of all, right? Also, then some of them, it was a health issue for them. They were going to make concessions and do things. And we have fail-safes in place in how showings can be and what we're going to do to keep everybody safe. We can do those sorts of things, but it's still taking a chance. You're being in touch with more people and that potential of contracting something, right? So we went that way. Now, one of the things that we did find is that the deals that are out there and then it's going on, in a conversation I had with one of our local lawyers, there's a couple things that can happen within that transaction that maybe people aren't aware of or thinking of. We have the potential of somebody in the household contracting the virus. Now, they're not allowed to be around somebody. They have to be quarantined. They can't move. So what does that do to the deal?
Right.
Also, if you're doing a deal now, it didn't have to be done, or you put your house on the market and trying to find something, and you don't have a closing date until the normal time period, that's 2 or 3 months down the way. We don't know what's going to happen within the market in that time period, positively or negatively. So there again, it's an unknown, and it's a risk potentially that the housing prices get affected to the point where you go, okay, I bought the house for $600,000, but now it's only worth $580,000. So the bank is going to mortgage up to the $580,000, so 95% of $580,000, and then I have to come up with the rest of the money. And that's a very plausible outcome with
Yeah.
what's happening. There's that potential because we're not seeing a lot in the market. Now, fortunately enough here, we haven't seen that to a big degree. We're down about 1%, not a lot of money. But in other areas, they are feeling that and seeing that.
Okay. So, of course, the big question for all of Georgina watching is, how has this affected our market? Like, are we sitting on our homes still the same value they were before COVID hit? Have we taken like a hit? Like, is it not a good time to even think of listing again?
We are sitting pretty steady where we are number-wise, really. It's not that bad. I mean, you hear pluses and minuses, doom and gloom. I just look at the numbers. The numbers always tell us. Like I said, we're down about 1% from when this started. So on an average house in Georgina being just below 600,000, you're looking at about a $6,000 difference in price.
Okay.
Not a lot when you're talking about that type of value, right? But there again, we don't know what's going to happen down the way. But supply and demand will always dictate what's going to go on with pricing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I think there's a lot of people kind of sitting, waiting, and they're antsy to get things going just in life in general. And part of that's going to be the ones that haven't been able to be listed and want to get on the market to get out there. I think we're going to see this surge of listings and everything come in when we get back to where we're allowed to be doing things in kind of in the more normal way. Mm-hmm. And then depending on how many buyers are there is going to determine what happens with the value. So either going to stay pretty steady, or we could see that influx of buyers coming into the market, which then ultimately puts the price up. I think we're probably going to see something to the effect of a lot of activity because people are wanting to get out and get active and do their thing. And that ultimately is going to push the price up. But in the long run, I think it's going to level off, calm down, people get back to being normal, and then it'll plateau back out and probably be right around where we are today.
Right. Well, that's good news then. Thank you so much for being on the show as always. You bring so much great advice and knowledge to such a huge, important aspect of all of our lives, really. So I hope that you and Melanie stay safe and the entire family. And I look forward to having you on the show next time.
You as well. Everybody stay safe. Take care. Thank you again for having me.
See ya.